Good afternoon, folks. Good morning, I should say. This Farmer John, welcome back. It's Saturday morning, the 9th day of May 2020, about 5 minutes before 11 o'clock, and I'm told I have a little piece of stir in my mouth. And there's no ums, ifs, or buts about it. I'm having a bad hair day today, I'm told. In fact, it looks like I had my finger in an electrical socket. Like bad hair today. So right away, I will put on my cap so we won't have to be concerned about the bad hair day. And as I get going, I want to, first of all, welcome all you wonderful people back in computer land, in YouTube land, and all mothers, grandmothers, and mothers-to-be. Wish each and every one of you wonderful ladies a very happy, holy, peaceful Mother's Day this weekend. Mother's Day tomorrow, of course, Sunday the 10th. The whole weekend is Mother's Day weekend, and you in service. Again, all mothers, grandmothers, mothers-to-be, happy Mother's Day weekend. Welcome back. This is Farmer JP. Farmer JP is our second production of our weekly for next 6-7 weeks production on having a Corona garden. We'll defeat the stuff. Just like I said last week, we defeated wanted items involved in winning World War II was the victory garden. So here we have fight Corona garden. Fight Corona garden. Now, today, we have, as usual, my trusty Claw here, hose on the side, it's still with me, remember, ho. Now, they take in Claw and my gloves, the trusty garden gloves, you can't get by out in the dirt without garden gloves. Good stuff. Now, today, we're going to talk about a few more items we can plant. Hopefully, many of you got your ground worked up last week and you have onions in now, spinach, Swiss chard. This week, we have beets. That's a hardy item again from the Halifax Seed Company. Beets. And because beets tend to grow bigger, you plant them 2 inches apart to allow enough room. 2 inches apart beets. Again, a little bit of patience. And they're a fairly coarse seed. So beets aren't too hard to plant, okay? Actually, pretty easy. Carrots, that's a much finer seed. You get a little more patience in that one. So maybe plant the carrots first when you have lots of patience fresh. Then later on, plant the beets. But that morning, you can plant both of these items, by the way, I should explain. Carrots and beets are tough, hardy items which you can plant now. So here we are on Saturday morning, 9th day of May, 2020, and it's fine. You can plant them now, and they're a tough, vigorous seed. Now, stuff that's not so tough to plant, not as hardy, is actually quite tender, but you can grow in this country. This here is cantaloupe. Every year I get a package of cantaloupe. Somebody gave me cantaloupe one year as a treat, and after I finished eating it, I took the inters, the seeds, and threw them out in the garden. And that spring, boy, everywhere they're all popping up little cantaloupe. Looks something like cucumbers or squash, pumpkin, whatever, and I transplanted in one spot and they grew. Not huge, but not bad. It was a warm summer. So this is something you can start off in little styrofoam cups in the house or a seed starter tray, then put them outside once the danger of frost is over, which this part of Nova Scotia, it'll be about another, say, month, 35. Generally, by the 15th of June, you're safe. And if you think there's a cool night, just put a piece of plastic inside. So cantaloupe will grow here in Atlantic Canada. Just you got to be more careful with it. So best thing is to start them in the house and go from there. Okay. Different ways to plant your garden. You can take and plant a garden in raised beds. See this? A lot of people use raised beds. Raised beds, you get some 2x6 or boards and put it together, make a raised bed. And that's something very nice. A raised bed, you can grow greens, you can grow pretty well everything can grow in the garden. Maybe not as much space to grow a lot of potatoes, but you can grow some potatoes, intensive cultivation. But raised bed is great for growing, well, like I say, greens, Swiss chard, spinach, peas, beans, whatever. So raised beds do a nice job. Raised beds can be quite nice in your garden, and you get the stuff prepared and the soil. And I would say maybe with a little bit of gravel in the bottom of the box. You don't have to have all soil, because most stuff just needs several inches of soil, that's it. So put gravel in the bottom, or coarse rock and some gravel on top of that for drainage, and finally your soil, and they'll do fine. They'll do wonderful. Now, kids love to plant seeds. They love to plant seeds, and I have one of my props. Just bear with me, not in the table. Just 1 second, folks. Here we have, from my last, thank you for your patience. Here we have, from my last year's pumpkins. You can cook them at a squash, like a squash after Halloween. I'm going to take one glove off to show these, because they're fine seed. This here, little thing to hold with here. There. This here is pumpkin seed. Pumpkin, and they're last year's pumpkin seeds. Okay, but of course, see? There's a bunch of them here. Pumpkin seeds. Hopefully you can see them all clear out there. Pumpkin seeds, and you dry them a little bit, take them out and dry them, and save them in a cool place over the winter, and they germinate next year. And kids enjoy it. Kids out of school this year, to extend it, the shortened school year, they're looking for something new. And kids love planting stuff. Peas is a good example. You plant them in a pot, and they germinate pretty quickly. As I mentioned last week, you have items like spinach. You put that out, and it's a 45-day thing, so it germinates quickly. Lettuce. We have it in lettuce here, because that's tender. That's for a future production, lettuce. Lettuce grows very nice, either in a raised garden, a raised bed garden, or in a little tray on the windowsill at house. So pumpkin seeds is something that once they get a head start in the house, the kids can grow their own pumpkins, give them to their friends, sell a few, whatever. It's a lovely item to grow. They tend to produce big vines. Obviously, they're pumpkins, but they're a fun item. Kids love gardening. It's a wonderful thing. So just to recap what we covered this week, you can grow beets. Okay to plant them now. Okay to seed them now this week. Seed them now. Your soil's ready, seed them. You can do carrots. That's directly seed them in your ground or raised bed outside. Stuff you can plant in the house now for future putting out. Cantaloupe. These are lovely items. And all stand by these wonderful, wonderful pumpkin seeds. Beautiful. So now, we've had cool weather this week where I'm at, and it's cool weather in New England, but that happens sometimes. That's life. When life hands you a lemon, you make lemonade. You build your raised beds, you till your soil, you plant your early season stuff, and there'll be better days ahead. Till next time, this is John Pettipas, thanking each and one of you wonderful people for subscribing, for viewing. Spread it around. Bad hair day or not, spread the information around, my friend, and enjoy yourself gardening. Gardening is a wonderful, wonderful, enjoyable thing to do, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't need a big tractor. You can just get out there with your hoe, and we said you can go out there and you can get out that hoe, and you can hoe, and get your soil tilled up, and start planting early stuff. So next time again, this is John Pettipas wishing all you wonderful gardeners out there, all you mothers, grandmothers, and mothers-to-be, all the best, and God bless. Thank you very much.